Good morning, Doctor.
And a good morning to you too, Elsa. You look radiant.
Thank you, Doctor.
And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the final LA Noire case. A different kind of war. Reloaded or, renewed. Amazon renewed. It crashed. If you were here last Sunday, it crashed like halfway through, which was a tragedy of epic proportions, an American tragedy. Doc Skullhammer was here. He's an old friend of the channel that you may or may not know, and a channel mod. And he recently lost his wife of 59 years, and we were talking about that and offering our sympathies. Very sad to hear that. And shout out to Doc Skullhammer, and also shout out to J Lash with the thumbs ups. I always know I'm going to have an excellent stream without any problems if J Lash has the thumbs ups in the chat. Thank you for being here early, J Lash, and thumbs ups to you, my friend. And I wish you'd been here last week with your thumbs up, because maybe then the stream wouldn't have crashed. What's that about? Yeah, I don't know what that's about. The stream crashing. It just gets overwhelmed. It's an old iMac. I need to upgrade, but I'm getting a PS5 instead of worrying about that. Getting a PS5 at the end of the month. Very excited about that, and I think we will also upgrade the monitor. And interestingly, I was looking at 4K monitors versus a 4K TV. And 4K TVs are so much cheaper. What's that about? Gaming monitors, I looked it up. Okay, they have a higher resolution. 4K TVs top out at 60 FPS. There's all sorts of frame rates and technical jargon that I don't understand. That I think a TV is perfectly suitable for our needs for this channel. And it's like I have a 27-inch HD monitor now, right here over to this side, and over to the right side, Sadie's looking at something. What is Sadie looking at? And then a 27-inch 4K monitor, cheapest I could find was like $249.99 on Amazon. And the TV, a 4K TV, $150. That's just crazy. For a 42-inch TV, like ridiculously large, it would take up over half the desktop. And I'm thinking about it because it would be fun to play on a larger screen. Cattleman Horse Ranch says, how's it going? Greetings, Cattleman. Appreciate you being here. We are working on the final LA Noire case. A different kind of war. Ilsa has just been abducted. How's everyone tonight? You like my outfit? A different kind of war. A gold tie clip. Gold watch. Gold pocket square. There it is. How's that? And then a plaid shirt because it's LA Noire. It's mid-century, and they really love their plaid in mid-century. I think it's because it was like sort of not exactly a rebellion, but just a natural evolution after the literal uniformity of World War II, where everyone was wearing uniforms. Okay, let's load up the next one. We're doing this ad hoc. So usually I've got these like set up for you, but not anymore, because it's the final mission. So we'll just watch the raw game files. Okay, Cole. No, actually, it's not Cole. It's Jack. Let's get this convertible, because nothing says LA Noire like driving around in a mid-century convertible. Sadie's doing quite well. She had a bath tonight. She had her bath. She's clean. She's a very clean bird right now. And I'm happy. She's happy. She's tired. But she's happy to be here, and she's happy to spend time with you guys. And I should mention that, you know, like, your time is very valuable. It's the most valuable commodity you have. And the fact that you spend it with me, hang out with me, and the dog, watch us play this beautiful game. It's an honor. It's a privilege. And I'm happy to be there for you, friend. I enjoy it as much as you do. Rapid exterminators. What's that about? And we're supposed to take that van, that rapid exterminator van, for a trophy, but spoiler alert, we didn't. I don't like how the trucks drive in this game.
You should get to a hospital, son. That arm of yours appears to be letting in daylight.
Save the pity for the other guys. They're the ones who need it. I'm looking for a big cowboy who works pest control. Does he work here?
Got my green tea tonight.
Like that here.
You sure? I'm not the type of guy you want coming back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Crusade against corruption. Let's read the newspaper.
What have you got?
Looks like a drug overdose.
Get away from him, Phelps.
Switching back to Cole. This is an old case.
Since when does a bagman work a case?
I knew this creep was in on the morphine heist. Victim of his own product.
Hey, detective! Can we back it off a notch? This is getting out of hand.
Time to talk and a time to shut up. Now is the time to be quiet, son.
Courtney Sheldon was a corpsman, Roy. He served his country. He went out with a medical kit and an Army 45.
So yeah, we're getting PS5 at the end of the month or the start of next month. I can afford it now. I could plunk down the cash right now, but I like to stick to budgets. You know, it's like I like to you know, I have a budget. I want to stick to it. There's a certain discipline, but also a satisfaction when you stick to a budget. And yeah, we don't, you know, it's like in America with credit, we're used to getting things now. I want it now. But it's far better to wait, I think. You know, wait until you can afford it. And that's, you know, for especially for big ticket items, you know, it's like I don't want to do payments. I don't want it on credit. I don't want, you know, installments. I just want to plunk down a big stack of cash, electronic cash, and own the thing. Own the darn thing. Do you accept cash? It's interesting. When we read the newspaper, we get a flashback in color. Usually those newspaper flashbacks are in black and white. Can we sneak through here? You know what would be fun if we ran over fire hydrants and they like gushed water? I don't think they do. They absolutely should. Pardon me coming through. Important insurance business. Jack is an insurance investigator, as you know, which is a very popular film noir occupation. Basically a PI, a private investigator, except, you know, he gets a paycheck, a regular paycheck, so he's not freelance. One of my favorite movies of this genre, Double Indemnity, features an insurance investigator. I saw that movie. at a film festival, basically because I wanted to see it on the big screen and in the movie theater, very old movie theater from the 1920s, and it was part of a film festival and you know, a charity event, so you had to dress up, and that was nice. But they, you know, during intermission, you know, you could get a drink, so I got a little rum and coke, and then they just let you roam around the theater and go backstage and stuff. And so I just explored a little bit and went down some corridors that I'm pretty sure were haunted. I mean, they're very spooky, but yeah, that was fun. That was certainly worth the price of admission to just check out the this gorgeous movie palace and the architectural details. Would only have been better if I could have taken the dog with me, and I know I could have applied to have her as an emotional support animal, but I just don't trust her to behave. I mean, she's not trained for that, obviously. And I don't need an emotional support animal. I just want one. I just want to take the dog with me everywhere, put it that way. I know a girl who did it, but it was a Cocker Spaniel, a tiny little dog. So, you know, it's like they can, well, not like medium for tiny dogs, perhaps like 25 pounds. So if it was, you know, if the dog became a problem, she could just pick it up and move on. But she got one of those vests from Amazon. They sell them on Amazon. And so she could take her dog anywhere. Look, even though he wasn't necessarily a bona fide emotional support animal with papers, but you know, nobody's going to question a cute girl with a cute dog. And the vest. I guess that's what you call a pretty privilege. We are riding the heck out of that car. Can you hear Sadie breathing? She's very she's very relaxed and ready for bed. She's right here. See, there she is.
I work for the DA. I'm looking for a big cowboy does extermination. Anyone like that working here?
Got blood on my nice plaid
I wouldn't want
sport
to get
coat.
into any trouble.
We could do this the hard way. An address?
Yeah, he lives in a bunkhouse on the remains of the old Rancho Rincon.
I like this outfit.
Thanks.
I mean, the one I'm wearing. I think it's perfect for the live stream, for an LA Noire live stream. Though the tie clip always keeps there. You have to attach it also to the shirt. Depending on the light, you can't see it. It doesn't reflect well. But you'll just have to take my word for it. It's gold. It coordinates perfectly with the watch. Gold watch, gold tie clip, gold pocket square.
The suspect is one of his mental patients.
I've met Fontaine.
His last patient was Elsa Lily.
There's Rusty.
She's missing.
I believe Finbar is my favorite of Cole's partners.
Sure thing, Cole. This way.
Such as it is. How was your Sunday? I pretty much took Sunday off. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Here we go. Yeah, I pretty much took the day off. I didn't do anything all day. But then, the afternoon, post-dog walk, after I gave her a bath, I took Arthur to Hanging Dog Ranch with 24 sticks of dynamite. 8 regular sticks, 8 volatile, and 8 dynamite arrows. And we did a complete 100% dynamite raid on Hanging Dog Ranch. I'm amazed that we were able to do it. We weren't very judicious with the dynamite. I mean, Arthur just threw it at people. He didn't like wait until they were all grouped around. Or we weren't strategic, let's put it that way. And we did have to punch somebody. I figured melee punching was not as didn't count towards the dynamite count. And because I have Last of Us reflexes now, it was very difficult to get Arthur to punch. It's circle in that game, and it's square. It's square in Last of Us. So he kept like jumping at the O'Driscoll. The O'Driscoll was very confused. But we got him. When I finally remembered.
Monroe wasn't happy. People started dying and it attracted attention. And the doctor lost control.
My finger is basically cured. Or, you know, scabbed over. You'll be happy to know, but I'm just keeping a Band-Aid on it to protect it.
Good doctor has been marking this map.
Was in a super annoying spot. Cut myself shaving. I shave with a straight, not a straight razor, a safety razor. And I like to soak it before, in hot water before I shave. And I also like, I just kind of splash hot water on my face to loosen up the beard. And anyways, yeah, I reached for it, and I don't know, it was early in the morning, but I reached for the wrong end, the sharp end. And yeah, cut myself. And I was like, oh, SGD, except I didn't censor myself. I actually said it's very hard to remain, to practice your PG dialogue when you are in pain. And Sadie, fortunately, was still asleep in bed, so she hopefully didn't hear me because I was not behaving in a gentlemanly manner. I was behaving in a distinctly ungentlemanly manner. Really try not to swear. I do. On this channel or in life. And then, you know, it's like I don't do it with friends, but if I'm in a relationship, I will ask the lady to make an effort not to swear. Because I just don't like how it sounds. Even though, you know, Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors, and he loves to swear. And Ellie, my current favorite game, she has a potty mouth, but you know, it's the apocalypse. So I guess it's kind of allowed. I mean, I'll allow it, but I'm not, I don't have the subtitles on because same as, you know, GTA 5 and I assume GTA 6. There's just too much swearing. We've gotten far too relaxed and casual in our conversation and dress style. Did you see that little zip backwards Cole did to get out of that scene? Get out of that cabinet? I like that. I like that rug. Doctors wearing a two-toned shoes. Very popular in the 40s and 50s. They were called what? Saddlebacks? I don't have them. I don't think I'd ever wear them. I don't mind flashy shoes. They're you know, I wear Doc Martens all the time. But those are flashy, but they're conservative. They're very golfy. Very golf-like shoes. And I'm just not interested in them. There's a ASMR channel I like to watch. It's called Beto's Leatherworks. It's not technically ASMR, and he's a cobbler, and he just does these high-end shoe repairs. Takes these beautiful. He like takes shoe restoration. You know, takes these shoes and makes them beautiful again for the owner. But anyways, he took 8 pairs of alligator shoes, beautiful alligator shoes in every color of the rainbow, and he turned them into golf shoes. Like, you replace the soles, and he said it cost like $900 per shoe, or per pair of shoes. So it's like the owner spent almost like $4,000 to upgrade his shoes into golf shoes. And each of those individual alligator loafers, which were from Spain, no, they weren't loafers, they were shoes. They looked like they were like at least $1,000 a piece. So anywhere from 12 to 15 grand on shoes. That's a lot. But it's you spend money on what you want to spend money on. I'm gonna get a PS5 and a new monitor. However, I'm gonna get the PS5 this month, and then we'll upgrade the monitor next month. There's no reason to like hit yourself with 2 giant bills in 1 month. We're not made of money. Moving on to the ranch bunkhouse. Note that the date is today. That's a nice shot, nice angle. Jack went back to the dry cleaners, got that blood stain out of his sport coat.
Guess nobody's home.
Nobody's home. Let's investigate.
Most guys bring home a 45 or an M1. This is pretty extreme.
Homemade flamethrower. That's a lot of cranes. Yeah, I had a nice day. I had pasta carbonara for lunch, which is basically bacon and eggs and pasta. Mama One is here. Everyone say hi to Mama One, even though it's just you and me and Sadie, Mama One, and Papa One. Greetings. Look, Mama One, Sadie got up to see you and to tell everyone else to like and subscribe. She had a bath today, and she's a clean bird, and she's very relaxed and ready for bed. We're finishing the game, Mama One and Papa One, just for you. I just want to finish the game. Mama One says, "Hey Sadie, hi, say hi to Mama One." I was hoping Doc would come back. I hope Doc is doing well. I'm very sorry about his loss, and I wanted him to
Jesus Christ, I know every
to talk to you guys.
Oh my God, Ira.
Pop One says, thanks for showing this again, Super Antonio. I loved this series. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you for being here, Papa One. Couldn't do without you, friend. And you know, honestly, it's not that hard. Seriously, it is. You know, I mean, once you get used to being in front of the camera, that's the hardest part of a live stream, is filling the air with words that make sense, and it's not like a nonsense salad like a certain presidential candidate used to do all the time. That's the hardest part of doing a live stream. You know, but playing video games, that's just fun. You know, hanging out with a dog. I mean, I'd basically be doing this without the camera on, except I wouldn't be dressed up. And I enjoy being dressed up for you guys.
The hell is Jack playing at? Like a suicide note. Half the LAPD will be down there hunting for him.
All units on all frequencies stand by. Car 86
It's raining.
in pursuit of suspect vehicle heading
That's also a very film noir element, is the rain in LA. Because it doesn't really. I mean, it does during winter, I suppose. And you need the rain because we're going to get a flooding, drowning sequence later on. Spoiler alert. She's ready. She popped up to say hello, and now she is just going to hang out. She's done with LA Noire. She wants to move on to The Last of Us. Haha, Papa One says, number 47 said it best when talking about the word salad candidate. I don't understand a word he said, and I don't think he did either. Yes, that was funny. And you know what was so cool was it was off the cuff. He's so good at improv and just being naturally charismatic and witty. And just the confidence he projects, the strength. Yeah, I love that. You know, I love that. But actually, I was talking about the word salad of the candidate they replaced him with. That lady. Who, in theory, or like the last I heard, she was thinking about running for governor of California. And honestly, they deserve each other, but I really wish she would just retire and move out of the public spotlight and be combined to finally be relegated to what Churchill referred to as the dustbin of history. Mom one says, is this a longer stream? Oh, let me see. I don't know. Let me check. I'm checking times on this. Yeah, we got...
Jesus Christ.
I think we got like another 31 minutes. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the sewer yet. Spoiler alert. And then I was saying earlier, I did a dynamite raid on Hanging Dog Ranch. That's what I did before this live stream, and we'll see that on one of the Free Roam Fridays. We had 8 regulars, 8 volatile, and 8 dynamite arrows. That was basically all we needed.
Who is this guy? Peterson.
I was very impressed that Arthur was able to do that.
I'm going in there, Jack.
No one's trying to stop you. I found this at the ranch house. He's marked his routes. I'll go in here. Cole, you take
Jack has blood on his Brand new sport coat that he just cleaned.
Cole. He's one of ours.
Mama one says, "Oh, okay, I must be bad at this case because I failed a lot on this game. It's technically a boss fight."
We'll earn your
Mama one.
So, Kelso is your boy, Peterson?
But
And working with Phelps?
yeah, you just have to be a little judicious and a little
You
strategic.
can't imagine what those two have uncovered.
Pocket square,
It could go
the DA.
all the way to the top. I hope you won't be implicated.
No, they're starting to like fold it up and turn it like I don't like I like when it's just a little stripe,
I think
but
you might.
you know, a lot of times,
Boy to get rid
and
of.
especially now, if a gentleman's going to wear a pocket square, they like have little triangles on, you know, like they turn them into like napkins. Looks like a napkin fold to me. Don't really like it. Pow. We need to upgrade our shooty bang immediately. Perhaps grab this person's. There, see? Investigator down. Mama one. It's very easy to fail in this game. And it's not failing necessarily, it's just trying again.
Throw out the gun.
And upgrading as soon as you can. Here we go. Then, like I said, I believe last night, in this game, you don't really reload. You just pick up another one.
Catch this asshole.
Those sewers must smell. And I'm not talking about like bodily functions, just, you know, of mold and mildew and decay.
You can walk out of here or go out in a box. Your choice.
See, we got all this water from the rain. Papa one says a modern LA Noir would be a lot of paperwork and a lot of riots. I went on a rabbit hole of takedowns with Chris Hansen, you know, to catch a predator YouTube version, and I watched 2 of them because they had hard takedowns, which I really appreciate. Where they tried to run away, and so the sheriff department just swoops out and like takes them down hard, sweep kick, and your face is in the carpet, and you're being cuffed, and Chris is like just standing over you saying, "Why are you here? What did you expect to find? What are you doing here?" And and yeah, I watched 2 of those, and you know, I prefer the hard takedowns where which you're not really allowed to do anymore. But anyways, there was one. This guy came to meet a 15-year-old, and then, you know, and Chris was talking to him, and he said it's a site for 18-year-olds. She said she was 18, and Chris just says, "I have the chat logs. She said she was 15. I know the answer to every question I'm asking you." Yeah, I watched a bunch of those. I watched too many of them. You know, it's like, and I noticed something. The decoys, when they show up, you know, it's like, and these guys are all like, you know, they're all hot and bothered because they've been like chatting all day to, you know, to an adult. But the decoys always have like a blanket around their, you know, it's like over their shoulders. So they're always holding a blanket like this. And they're like, "Hi, I have to charge my phone. I'll be right back." You know, and then they run away. But I was wondering why they do that. And all I can think of is it's distracting. It's like they're excited and they're expecting bath lady times, and so it's like she's covered with a blanket, but you can sort of like, I guess, imply that there's nothing underneath. That it's a little bit intimate, answering the door, like just holding a blanket over you, but you're completely covered up and you're protected. Their arms are always like folded in front of them, or they're holding the phone in front of them, and and they're fine because there's like 5 cops in the other room and there's cameras everywhere, so she's not in any danger. But it's just consistently they always have a blanket on, and then they'll like say, they'll say something like, I don't know what's going on with the thermostat. I don't know why it's so cold. I don't know why I don't know why I'm talking like a country girl. Anyways, yeah, that's what I noticed was the blanket. What's that about? Mama once says, my favorite is the one where the guy is just standing there with his hands up calmly and the deputy just tackles him down. Yeah, it's because all those guys, all the law enforcement, they're all fathers. They're not, they're, they're invested. It's like, of course, it's like you're going to get a hard takedown and you might fall or bump your head on the way to lock up. I'm sorry. Mama one says, Cloudy's here. Greetings, Cloudy. Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. Mama one says, I watch predator poachers and other catchers. Several of the predators have canceled themselves on the spot, so they worry about the predator going on a rampage. Papa one says, hey, Cloudy. Yeah, I can understand that. Got to take him down hard in case they've got some sort of weapon on him. Yeah. No range on that thing. You got to get close. Mom once says, did you see the one where the predator is a cop and ends up getting taxed? It's hilarious. I didn't see that one. Or I didn't, they all kind of blend in together. J-Lash just says, hey, Super Antonio and Chad. Greetings, J-Lash. And Cloudy says, nice shooting with El Diablo. Sent them bad folks flying. Yeah. Cloudy, what's that about? I'm glad you watched that short. How's that short doing? The Last of Us shorts are doing quite well. They're doing better than Arthur's shorts. Papa one says, all flamethrowers make me realize a shot in the head isn't so bad. Tased, Mama one says, they tased him. No, I definitely didn't see that one because I wouldn't remember. Well, weren't these invented, to clear out machine gun nests and in WW2, Papa one? You were supposed to spray him down into the bunker as opposed to, just tossing a hand grenade in there. Yeah, thanks for watching, Cloudy. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, we're getting the PS5, and then we're just going to immediately start playing The Last of Us on the new PS5. And then I will transfer files over as I can. I assume that's going to take a while, even with a LAN network. But then we will upgrade Red Dead Redemption 2. We will do Free Roam Fridays on the new PS5. Papa one says, mainly the Pacific, but they were in Europe as well. And Papa one says, yes, they were made to clear bunkers and caves.
How long do you think you can hold out?
one of my favorite scenes in in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is when Leo is practicing with the flamethrower for the 14 Fists of McCluskey, and he's complaining about how hot it is, and it's like, is there any way to make this less hot? And the stuntman or weapons coordinator just looks at him and says, well, it's a flamethrower, which he keeps as a souvenir. It's in his pool house or in his shed. J-Lash says, getting a PS5. Nice. Yes, J-Lash. Not L.A. Noire. The Last of Us convinced me that we need a PS5 because they did a remaster in addition to the PS4 remaster where they reskinned the game with Last of Us 2 graphics and updated AIs and updated combat mechanics. So you get the best of Last of Us 2, but with the best game, Last of Us 1. And so I really want to play that because Last of Us is my current obsession, my new favorite game. Papa One says, my uncle on my mom's side was a Marine in the Pacific. He was in charge of clearing out bunkers. He lost half of his leg, but he lived and later went back to school and became a lawyer. On the GI Bill, I'm sure. Papa One said, my dad used to joke that he just became a lawyer because he wanted to sue the Marines or the Japanese. That's a great story, though. But you can survive and triumph and move on with your life after such a sacrifice and the things you see. Like you did, Papa One. And what happened to our hat? Yeah, J-Lash, I'm getting a PS5 at the end of the month. I can afford it now, but I like to stick to my budget. It's very satisfying emotionally to stick to your budget, and Americans like things now. I want it now. That's how we got in so much trouble in the first place. Buying now and paying later, and not paying later. So, and I, especially with big ticket items, I just like to plunk down a bunch of cash, a big stack of electronic dollars, and own it outright. Can you hear Sadie snoring? She's very relaxed. She had a nice bath. She's all clean. And she likes, she more than tolerates the bath. I wouldn't go so far to say she likes the bath, but I think she might like being clean. I think she likes the end result.
Are you okay, Princess?
I felt better. He saved me from the doctor.
Hi, Tex. Do you remember me?
I'm not sure that I do. Have you come here?
G-Lash says, haha, yeah, I hear that. Good on you. You stick to the budget. Yeah, it's, I enjoy budgets. I enjoy being, like, fiscally disciplined. You know, J-Lash and Papa One, I used to describe myself as socially liberal and fiscally conservative. But then they took it too far, and now I'm just conservative. No. Yeah. Papa One says he's part of why I became a Marine, your uncle, and the uniform, LOL. He was wounded in Tarawa, but had been at Guadalcanal. Wow. History. The greatest generation. Stand down, Sergeant.
You ordered me to burn that cave, Lieutenant. That cave full of civilians. A hospital.
What is he talking about?
It's a great story. I mean,
For
it's
God's sake, I can't be held responsible for everything that happened.
I don't blame you, Lieutenant. You helped me to
L.A.
help
Noire.
other people.
Ira lost his mind on Okinawa, Princess.
Sheldon asked the doctor to help him get back.
The doctor helped me to find my path, and I helped him to a better life.
Elsa's going
and
to
I
leave now,
got a
Ira.
chance
Be
to
all
look
right.
at
You
some
come to two. Get her out of here. Big
some
swell.
Witcher 3 PS5 reskins,
Hasn't this
and
bastard given you
it
enough?
looks like they added a little bit of they added a little extra content, but pretty much they just bumped up the color and resolutions, which I could technically I could just do that in iMovie. So I don't know if it's worth it, but I do love that game. But even as I was watching the playthrough, it was like I'd rather play The Last of Us right now. Now we get the flashback of why everyone's so traumatized and the actual war crime that was committed that everyone covered up.
Finish them off. Do it humanely. We are leaving this place.
You do it, Phelps. Get your own fucking hands dirty. I'm out of morphine.
Put these people out of their pain.
J-Lash is laughing.
That's an order.
Everyone out of here now. Double time. You two get Lieutenant Phelps to an aid station.
Cole
Team will be
Phelps.
blowing this place in 2 minutes. Everything that happened in here
I
stays
can't
in
say
here.
I'm
You
gonna
hear me?
miss him.
I don't want to ever hear another word about it.
I mean, it's fun to play. I'm glad we finished it. I'm glad we have this playthrough on our live stream. Mom once says the most amazing thing about the World War II generation is they came back and just pick up their lives where they left off, mostly. The war was fought by most men who came home and became your mailman or your teacher or your factory worker. Yeah. Yeah, they rebuilt the country and they ushered in an unprecedented level of prosperity and pretty much cemented America as a world power. But that's because Papa won. They had the discipline of the United States military behind them. They inherited that work ethic and have been, well, I'm going to say beaten into them, but it's like, and that transferred over into their careers and their in their daily life. That's I've got it's I can't say enough about tiny little disciplines like just doing 10 push-ups a day.
We're gathered here.
Because it's like you exercise your body, but it also exercises your mind. Just the fact that you're doing something consistent every day allows you to develop other habits that you will do every day that will help you succeed in life, succeed as a human being and as a man. Mama once says, "Rest in peace, Cole." Yeah, he gets a nice send off.
You belittle his memory. Get out of my way, Jack. You call yourself his friend.
A detective who fought to expose the evil corruption of the murderous.
Is that the wifey or is that Ilsa? I can't see. And I think we get to see Cole's daughters.
Go to her. Will you, Herschel?
Reformer who
You were never his
recognized the
friend,
need to
Jack.
remove the odd bad apple from a department.
you're right.
Yeah, Rusty was his friend.
Herschel?
A man who never gave up.
Yeah, Jack.
Who
I was
continued
never
to
his
fight
enemy.
the good fight.
I think you knew that, Jack.
The fight that cost him his own life.
Nice looking Gothic church. I would assume this is a real church in LA. Don't know enough about it.
And may I say, a good friend.
Pocket Square. And that's the game, friends. We made it. Thanks to Jill Ash and his thumbs ups. We did not crash, knock on wood. Team Bondi. That's Australia, isn't it? Was this made in Australia? Because Bondi. Because I've heard of Bondi Beach. Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, Papa One. Papa One says, Dad and I were always in great shape from farm work as our most farm workers. But every morning we did 100 sit-ups, 100 pull-ups, and 100 push-ups. Yeah, your daily 100. But, for like kids, Papa One, I suggest start with 10. Because, if you start with something overwhelming, they're gonna quit. It's like they're just gonna get frustrated and quit. So just start at 10, build up. Bondi Junction is a suburb in Australia. Serena would know that. It's in Sydney, in the state of New South Wales. J Lash with the thumbs ups. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you. That is about all I have for you tonight. The next time we meet will be for Free Roam Fridays. On Fridays we free roam. We will probably not be in possession of a new PS5, but we will have bought it. Sadie will say goodbye. Hop up. Say goodbye. And tell everyone to like and subscribe. Shout out to the mods, Papa One and Mama One, and Miko and Serena and Doc, Skullhammer. Appreciate you, Jay Lash. Thanks for being here. Cloudy. Great talking to you guys. We shall return on Fridays and another Last of Us stream on Saturday, and probably even another Last of Us stream on Sunday. At any rate, I'll keep the chat going for a bit if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves. I really appreciate you spending time with us. And have a great week, friends. We'll see you soon.